Hello everyone, this is Gay Bros Going to Dive Bars to talk about cinema. Today we are here at the Eagle in San Francisco, and I'm here with my good friend Blake. How you doing, Blake?
I'm doing well. How are you, Jose?
I'm really good, thank you, Blake. And I'm Jose. Today we're going to be talking about Little Children. That is the movie that Blake actually smartly selected last week. So what did you think about it?
So, are you ready for the first 10 out of 10 rating in our spreadsheet?
A 10 out of 10? Are you sure? I think that is not the first one. Are you saying that it's that good as La Ventura? The San Antonioni film level?
Did I give that a 10?
You did a 10. You said that it was like the only perfect film that exists.
No. Well, the perfect films.
You say that that's the definition of a perfect film.
So I had seen it before, so why don't you tell me what you thought?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that I overall really liked it. I was like really surprised. I felt, astonished that I had never heard too much about it. I think
right? It's fucking good.
No, it's really good. I mean, the script is amazing. It's really smartly written. It reminds me a bit of, the same kind of thematic of American Beauty from the perspective of another suburban drama. Well, terrible stuff happens, but this movie doesn't take itself as serious, and it has a bit more of a clear message.
A whimsy.
Yeah.
A whimsy.
It's whimsical. It's more whimsical. Let's go with that. But I liked it. I love King Winslet actually does like a really, really good job as a suburban mother. She has like way more subtlety than Patrick Wilson. Patrick Wilson, I think that he was probably not the best cast.
I feel like her nipple should get a best supporting actor.
Yeah, the support of the character completely. That support was amazing.
Didn't have a lot of lines, but man, when
they were on the screen, they were like just
really
captivating. Yep, they were captivating absolutely everything. So I could say that I liked it, but I liked it, as I was telling you, about not taking itself completely serious, how they were actually just mixing up the absurd comedy of the situations, like the crush that the husband, Kate Winslet's husband, has on that porn celebrity.
God, I love those scenes. I love them. And the voiceover narration?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Actually, the voiceover narration made me think about two movies. Well, actually, there were three, but it's like Dogville and Manderville, that they had the same kind of narration about, like, I'm going to be evaluating this society for what they're doing.
Wait, Manderville had a voiceover?
Yeah, they did. It was exactly the same format as Dogville. I mean, it was the sequel. And I think that it's even the same voice actor, I think. But and the other one that I was thinking about, it was Carell. Because it's the latest one that we
saw. Man.
I'm sorry, man, but that had a narration. You cannot discuss the fact. That's a reality.
So did you recognize the narrator's voice?
Who was it? I think that I read it earlier, but
it's a fairly famous voiceover narrator for PBS documentaries, I believe.
The Dana Attenborough? No, that's from BBC.
No. I think it's from PBS.
Okay.
I read something, but I definitely recognize his voice as this very... What would be the word? Like matter-of-fact narration when the things he was saying were fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I think that it's similar on that sense to Arrested Development. That sometimes the funniest part is actually the narrator. You know, how he actually just reflects on, okay, what is happening makes no sense. Or they're all lying and they're just pretending to just be upstanding citizens. That's sometimes what it happens in this movie. As I told you, it's like I love the scenes at the beginning when she's like, I give you $5 and you get his phone number, and when she goes to talk, everyone is like, oh my god, she's doing it. And when she actually just kisses her, it's like they're like just taking the kiss about like, holy shit, what example are you giving to the kids?
When they kiss and you can hear someone say, oh my god.
Yeah, like the blonde mother. Yeah, that's amazing.
There were so many good scenes that stood out, and the entire storyline with Jackie Earl, the guy from Watchmen, Jackie Earl Haley, I think.
Oh yeah, he was also nominated. Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, that one is so well casted.
And that scene at the pool is one of the best directed scenes that I can think of recently. It was just.
Yeah, I have to say that the impact about when he remains completely by himself in the pool and there are like hundreds of people surrounding it, you know? About, okay, we are not living away, we are not running away. It's like we want you to just see humiliated because of what you did, you know? Is that there is, it reminds me, do you remember that we were talking about I, Tonya a couple of years ago when it came out, and I said like, it's a good movie, but I think that it could have made significantly more for doing a critique about the American dream, or like the American expectations of their stars, and how they project that into other people. I think that this movie succeeds on doing that a bit more. It's not only about the story of the affair between Kate Winslet and Patrick Wilson. It's a bit more about just presenting what is the reality of the suburban life and how destructive it is, It's like, we're going to be just spoiling the whole end, but it's like at the end, I was thinking, okay, they read Madame Bovary, and she actually says that, well, she's a revolutionary, she actually fights to just try to change his life. And there is this kind of parallelism with what she's doing, is that she's unhappy in her life, and she tries to find a way out. She thinks that that's what she wants.
It's not, and it almost destroys her.
Exactly. It's like at the end, but it's like, is it not, or is it a bit more like, okay, I'm going to be just bending over, and just accepting that this is the reality that I have, and there is no way for actually changing. I'm not going to be getting something better, kidnapping my daughter, and just running away with this terrible human being, like this other person. They just leave it there.
Who also is just as messed up as her.
Exactly, and Patrick Wilson is basically the guy, I'm trying to just reconnect with my younger version of myself. I'm going to be skating, I'm going to be playing football, I'm going to be just ignoring all my responsibilities. Being a little child, yeah. Oh, they're both of them little children. But that's the part, is I was thinking from that perspective. And I also was thinking about the third story there, or second, you actually connect the Patrick Wilson and the Kate Winslet story just as a single one. That is the other guy that you mentioned right now, like the child molester, and it's like the other story there. It's a bit more like he ends up frustrating himself, because he actually thinks this is what I have to do for actually just fitting in this society. This is the only way out.
But to convince other people.
Exactly, yeah. But it's if this was a Todd Field movie, it's he almost celebrated the character. But it's normalized. Yeah, even normalized, But it's in this movie, it's a bit more about this is the reality, the suburban reality. It's you don't have a place here. The only place for you to actually, the only way for you to actually fit into this reality that you're in is actually just bending over, as the other characters are doing it. That you cannot keep your childhood, dreams, because you're no longer a person. There is no point for you to trying to pursue it. You have to just bend over about what is the reality you have right now. It's for Kate Winslet, is that you're just a kid in-house mom that no one really cares about. Is that you're going to be living a life that is extremely comfortable, but it's not going to be fulfilling. But you have to just accept what you have.
Yeah, but I feel like when you say she's just a mom, she was successful academically. She was super smart. She just kind of got convinced this is the life she should want, and then she was like, no, I don't want this.
She doesn't want that, but at the same time, she doesn't try to look for a way out that makes sense. There is no scene where she's actually talking with her husband, saying, look, I want to just go back to my academic life, I want to be a teacher, I want to be whatever, or just write research papers.
Fair, there were no scenes with her husband where he wasn't masturbating, so...
That's true, but they were good in any case. It wasn't, he wasn't masturbating.
Really good. What was this, Slutty K?
Yeah, it was something. Naughty K.
Naughty K?
Naughty K, yeah.
Every time the narrator started talking about her, I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, he could actually just read
She's
that.
She's become a problem for him.
Yeah, he could actually read it with that straight face, completely serious, narrating about and we can see the gazelle running in front of the lioness. He's like, and Naughty K sent him the underwear that he used to masturbate to. It's amazing.
So much I identified with in that.
But yeah, no, I liked it, and I thought really surprised. I didn't check. I checked who won, because she was nominated to Best Actress. Kate Winslet. Yeah, Kate Winslet was nominated.
Was the screenplay?
The screenplay, yeah. And the Best Supporting Actor for the child molester.
Oh, yeah. He came out of retirement for 30 years of no acting for that movie.
For that movie? Yeah. Wow, okay.
And then he did a couple other things like Blades of Glory after that.
And what?
And Watchmen.
Which I guess
So this is years ago, but I read that
13 years ago.
Yeah, so the first time I saw it, I think it was in the theaters, and then apparently the script.
Wait, wasn't this an R-rated movie?
Little Children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they let you to go in to an R-rated movie in 2007?
Fuck you, man. I am almost 40.
Well, almost 40, yeah. Sure. I don't know if 31 is considered that, but sure.
So there's a lot taken from Anna Karenina. Have you read it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so the train motif throughout, that's taken directly from Anna Karenina.
Huh.
And the dissatisfaction with the life and always thinking the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, but it's been 200 years and you haven't read it.
Yeah, that's
Anna
true.
Karenina kills herself at the end by throwing herself in front of a train.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You never discussed about Anna Karenina once, like some time ago. I had the feeling, or I watched a movie in the one that they actually discussed
Well,
it.
the same guy who did Atonement did the modern adaptation, the stage adaptation of
Anna Karenina? Okay.
God, what is his name? I love Atonement.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
So you probably got the gist of it from that movie.
From Atonement.
But it was interesting because I always pay attention to the sound of the trains throughout, and you just see it's just chronic dissatisfaction, and there's like no real morals or values.
Yeah, but there is no real reason for them to be like fully dissatisfied because they have a way of actually improving things. And Patrick Wilson is married with a extremely accomplished woman, really
he's not in love
hot.
with her.
The what?
He's not in love with her, and Kate Winslet's not in love with her husband. What they're looking for is authenticity, and they can't find it in their own marriages, so they find something that's authentic outside of it.
Do you think that it's like really authentic, or it's more like just a consolation prize? It's a bit more like, okay, I need to just run away of this, and this guy is hot, this woman is hot. It's like just,
So let me clarify. I read the book by Tom Perrotta.
Okay.
And Kate Winslet's character is supposed to be fat and ugly.
No way.
Yes, that's the whole thing, is that she's very unattractive. She has a unibrow. They talk about that. And so that doesn't come across in the movie when it really was kind of the point.
Yeah, no, certainly when I was looking at those nipples and I couldn't just look away, it was pretty clear, no, this was not casting a way of saying Kate Winslet is ugly.
I mean, they kind of made an attempt to make her look frumpy, but it is not the way.
But one thing is grumpy. One thing is grumpy.
No, frumpy. Frumpy just means they don't have themselves put together. They don't dress well. They don't take care of themselves.
We see her naked.
Well, yes, but she also has very ugly clothing on very often.
Sure, but that's the reason why she buys the swimsuit. I guess.
Yeah.
Or just trying to look a bit more appealing.
So when you say, is this just two attractive people finding each other? No, it was her finding all these things she wanted, passion, she wanted to feel attractive, which she didn't to her husband.
Okay, no, that's fair.
And I do think, well, I don't know, do I think there were genuine feelings? No, maybe not.
I don't think that they were completely genuine because actually when the guy, Patrick Wilson, has the accident, I don't know in the book, but it's at least in the movie, when he has the accident, is that the first thing that he actually says, call my wife. He doesn't think about hey, I have this woman that is waiting for me for just taking off or anything like that. It's I'm out. I'm just out. I'm just going by. It's I actually can be happy, quote unquote,
And she kind of she went to the park, which was farther than he went.
Yeah.
But she kind of bailed pretty quickly too. Or did she have a choice?
No, she had a choice. I mean, I think that basically was he went to talk with the child molester, and it's when the daughter, basically at the speed of sound, disappeared, And it's when she finally started just freaking out. He's what am I doing?
I was very confused by that, because the child molester was there, dickless, in front of her. The danger wasn't the danger.
Well, I mean, she didn't know that he was dickless.
Oh, yeah.
They don't discover it until later,
So they all just kind of come to their senses. They wake up from, my love is a fever. Did you? So he's flipping through the book when he finds the picture of himself.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. My love is a fever. Yeah.
Just fever is something that you come out of.
Yeah, it's like an
and they both just
infatuation.
kind of woke up and they're well.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, pretty poetic. Yeah. Well, good job, Blake. Here you go, 1 star for you.
But no, I felt like it didn't age very well.
It didn't?
Well, it's only 11 years old, and there were things about it that, okay, this dates it a little bit. The themes and stuff were not.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't have a smartphone. Sure. What else?
For instance, I felt like the attitudes and the conversation of the bitchy moms in the park, that wouldn't fly today. It's too cheap. It reduces them to these very...
Sure, but I think that the movie tries to do that. I don't know the original word, but I think that it tries to be a bit more of a cliche.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not bad, but we talk about movies that are timeless
Sure.
and never feel dated. I felt like this is probably going to feel dated.
Do you think that if we were to watch American Beauty, that is also around those years, maybe like even before that, 2006?
American Beauty feels a little bit dated to me.
If you study? Okay, yeah, I haven't watched it in 10 years at least. Yeah. No, I love it too, but like, it has been like at least 10 years, and I don't know if it actually is well or not. And this is a kind, I don't know if I fully agree with that, because I just found it like stereotypes. Like, okay, we're going to be like doing like very exaggerated characters, but that's the point of actually just making characters that they have accepted this kind of life and they're as happy as it gets on this kind of life. And then we have a character that is like, it's not like that. It's not like that. So from that perspective, but you have that kind of contrast. I didn't feel like Kate Winslet and Patrick Wilson were so exaggerated. I felt like they were a bit more reasonable depicted. Those women. It's more like just background noise. Basically, for example, look, this is the reality, this is the norm. These characters are outside of the norm. Those characters are actually have like a deeper feelings that they are like just trapping alive that they never expected for themselves.
And there were so many good individual scenes that I was like, wow, that was like really well directed.
Yeah. Like the swimming pool, what is when they're having sex in the laundry
when the sex offender jerks off on it.
Oh, holy shit, that scene is amazing.
Jesus Christ, that was intense.
Like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. If you call me out, I will find you.
When he's playing football and she's like his girlfriend in the stands cheering, and they're like, this could not be. We get it. They're high school students.
Yep. That's
but it was still so well done, and she was so enthusiastic. I really love this movie. I told you for years I claimed it as my favorite movie until I realized how stupid this was.
Why? Why do you think that is stupid?
It's stupid to claim a favorite movie. I mean, there's so much out there.
Sure. That's completely fair, but at the same time, this is a movie that you like. Would you consider like one of your favorite movies?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've seen this movie probably 15 times.
Oh, okay. That's impressive. So you know like lines of dialogue, like when they're having sex, for example?
So I hadn't seen it in at least 10 years at this point, but back then, yeah, I knew every line. I knew every voiceover narration. And
okay, that's impressive. Yeah.
And particularly, it was funny because when I watched it this time, I knew all of Lucy's lines, all of them. And I was like, why did Lucy's lines stick with me? Oh, and then when he says beauty is overrated.
Yeah.
That happens in the book.
Yeah, but at that
point,
yeah, it makes
sense.
Like
devastated because he basically said you're not beautiful, and my wife is.
Yeah.
So there are all these moments that are very impactful while being very subtle.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, I was thinking, like, okay, well, yeah, the wife is what is her name? Jennifer Connelly. Your wife is Jennifer Connelly. He's like, yeah, she's a hot woman.
I would fuck both of them, Kate Winslet and Jennifer Connelly.
And Patrick Wilson. Come on.
Well, he's to the front of the line.
That's the first one.
I paused several times.
But it's like at that point, it's like, okay, it's like you're just asking him about your wife. It's like, okay, yeah, your wife is going to be home. But it's like, you're Kate Winslet. You're not. I mean, if you were Uma Thurman, I could actually say, like, okay, yeah, you put like some weird makeup. Maybe people are going to think that you're not that hot. But come on, this is like
just... Yeah, that was a little frustrating because I felt like that was an important part of the book, and it didn't like. Yeah, she doesn't look like Jennifer Connelly, but she's still a beautiful, beautiful woman, and she had sex appeal in that movie, and she's not supposed to have. The character's not supposed to have sex appeal.
Okay, no, that's a pity. So you think that this movie would have been better if they had casted, I don't know, like Melissa McCarthy?
No, I think the movie is perfect. I'm just saying it doesn't match the book.
Okay, that's fair. It's an important distinction. Okay, so what score would you give it?
9.
9? Okay, I would give it an 8.
I would want to look at our spreadsheet to be sure this isn't crazy.
No, that's fine. That's fine, but like just for completing the recording.
It's not as perfect as L'Aventura. But yeah, it holds up. I'm proud that was my favorite movie in my 20s.
No, that's a good movie.
It proves I have exceptional taste, and you shouldn't doubt me.
We're not going to be like going that far, but sure, that's a good movie. I was impressed by it. I was thinking that it's going to be like, it's going to be like one of those crazy things that's like says that it's good and then it's not, But it was decent. It was a good movie. All right, okay, cool. Well, this was it.
Until next week.
Until next week, hopefully. See ya.